Hello folks. It's certainly been a while, hasn't it? I hope that you've all been managing to lead good, happy lives despite of all of the various messes that has befallen us during the past few years. I've certainly felt that it's been a remarkably weird time, and even so I've kept my head down with my studies, but can finally say for sure that I have a university degree, which is something that I've been wanting for quite some time. However, trying to combine university degrees with regular old work is a recipe for a difficult time, and hence I've managed to fall off the face of the earth. And, well, last summer I finally got my life back, but taking on extra work and stress is always a debt that must be repaid. So I've spent it repaying said debt. But as far as debts go, I have another one, which is for all of you all, which is that I haven't been showing you any cool calculators that I've bought, even though I have acquired quite a few in my absence. And I thought, what better way could there possibly be than to start by the weirdest one? The Siamese twin from Brunsviga, Germany, the Brunsviga 13ZK, which is a double calculator, which you can see is that it's basically two regular old machines stapled together. And the carriages are linked, so one operation on one machine happens on both, and they all share the same general control lever. Not to mention the fact that they can be set to counter-rotate with the gearbox here. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get on with the show to demonstrate the usual features. Clearing of carriage and the counter registers. And now, for those who happen to be new to my channel and decided that, wow, this is a really weird thumbnail, assuming that I managed to shoot a really weird thumbnail, will certainly want to know, how do these things work? Well, it's relatively simple. You input a number using these little levers. This one comes with a convenient window. You turn the handle either forwards for addition, and the result can be read out in the bottom register here, also known as the accumulator, and in the top. And we can in fact do it on both machines at the same time, because why not be a little bit novel with it? It's also possible to make a subtraction by turning the lever anti-clockwise. And we can see that we're back to 0 here, and of course we're running at negative 123 on the left machine. We could of course also counter-rotate them to make a subtraction, and all of a sudden we can see that this machine is now the -1 and this one has a 0. So relatively novel, but to get back on track, clearing the machine. And let's try to set up a regular old addition. So let's say 125 plus, let's say 225. And we can see the result come out here. And we land at 350. Incidentally, this machine lacks a pretty nice feature which I rather like on other machines, which is the back transfer for multiplication. But let's have a look at multiplication using two machines at the same time. So let's take a simple number. We'll take 125. And we'll do the same on this one, because why not? Let's make a show of what this machine can do. And we'll say that we take it multiplied by 25. Now, of course, I could turn this 25 times. But that would be boring, so instead I'll just turn it 5 times, step the carriages once, and turn it twice more. And we can thus see we have our input, 125, we have our output, the multiplier, 25, and the result, 3125 in both registers. Of course, the convenience with this machine is that it's possible to calculate two different numbers at the same time. So let's say, for instance, that I wanted to follow up on what, let's say 3.6. It's a not great, not terrible number. 3.6 times, let's say 100 or 1,100, 11,111, and also 2,222. Why not? So, as before, I would start out by stepping the carriages to the start position, make 6 additions, step, and now somehow I've managed to compute 2 different solutions, or rather 2 different calculations with 1 set of turns on the main lever and just 2 settings here. This is incredibly useful for surveyors who need to convert their polar coordinates into the rectangular ones. For instance, where you have a range and an azimuth, and you need to convert that into a range and a heading, and you want to convert it into coordinates on a map, for instance. Division is likewise where you would move the carriages to the far right, and then you can just simply push the buttons on the carriage and you're able to set the dividend with the thumb wheels. Is it necessary to push both of them at the same time? No, absolutely not. I just wanted to see if I could. And then we have a decimal indicator, and I will do the traditional division for pi. And then we have the 113, and same here, 113, with 3 decimals on each. And the same goes here, 3 integers, subtract and add 1, which lands us with 1 integer in the result register. And then division goes on manually, like on many older machines. Unfortunately, the Heymans were very strict with their patents, let's say. So, as subtraction, and once it's overflown, it's time to step the carriage again. Let's see, here we are. And another set of subtractions. Now, seeing as how we are nearing the Christmas season, the bell does seem appropriate. And there we are. And as we are used to on this channel, we have yet again determined an approximation for pi being 3.1415929 on both machines. But of course, we can do one better. Let's do the division for pi using 2 different methods. Now, with these calculators, you can either make a division by entering the dividend in one machine, like so. But another way you can do it is that by taking your divisor and adding the number up until the point where you actually end up producing the desired dividend. The advantage of doing that is that you're going to have your dividend in the accumulator, you'll have your divisor in the setting register, and of course you'll have your result up here. So let's make one division using that method. So I will put 113 again in both the setting registers. But this time I'm going to reverse the machine so that when this makes a subtraction, that makes an addition. So we're actually going to see the methods of division being performed in the exact same way, but using the two different methods. So, subtraction time. And now we can see that we are getting to 339, which is close, but not, well, close but no cigar, really. We step. Okay, 350, still getting closer. Almost. It helps to pay attention so you don't do one too many rotations. But who can pay attention and talk into a camera at the same time? That guy is certainly not me. At least not after a long day of doing God knows what. And finally. Of course, this is never going to reach the exact result. But so, here we are, back where we started. We can see that the numbers in this counter register, they're white because they've been added all the time, whereas this one is in the red to show that they're negative. And we have the same result on both, 3.1415929. We have the dividend, or divisor, my bad, in the setting register, 113. And here we have the remainder, 0.0000023. And we have very close to our original number here, 354.999999977. So with a little bit of creativity, we can simply add this number to that one, and we end up with our original dividend. Or with a little bit of creative maths, also known as rounding, we can see that we started out with probably 355. So that's the two different methods of division showcased on a single machine at once. You won't be seeing this anywhere else, folks. Now, one of the delightful things about this machine that makes it such a fantastic desk companion is that it has so many levers and buttons and things that you can press. So for instance, you have this 1 and 2, which is actually the duplex connection between the two clearing registers. So let's say that I set a number here, doesn't matter which one, and I set one here, also doesn't matter. If I have this set to 2, you've probably observed that both these will clear. But only this counter register clears, which you can see with the little... No? Interesting. Does it not flag? Ah, it flags only when it actually has something to clear. So now you will see the red comes up there, and it will show a little white sign there. But this one does not. You have to turn this one manually to clear this counter. Then, if I set it to 1 only, and again set some numbers, the actual numbers aren't important, and I pull this lever, we'll see it only cleared the counter register here, but not the setting register. So this is for clearing the entire machine, and this is for clearing only that counter register. Meanwhile, this one clears both setting registers, no matter what the lever is set to. And one rather nice feature that I quite like of the machine is that it shows exactly what is being cleared each time you pull one of the clearing levers. Little red indicator, or red indicator, and red indicators here. Then finally down here, one red. Plus, there is just something that is remarkably and I would say oddly satisfying about doing the standard numeric addition test, which is to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then setting the machine to counter rotate. And then just turning the handle 10 times to make sure that the carry registers are all working fine. So we can see that we have a positive carry there, negative carry there. We have a very nice remainder here, 99876543211, and here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So all is well with this machine. Clearing again a little project, and we're good to go from the beginning. Now, this machine has some curious things that I haven't actually been able to figure out what the point of them is. For one, down here, there is a little spring that prevents the lever from moving unless it's pulled out. Now, pulling this out also activates a little catch here, but I imagine that that's part of locking the machine up when the lever is, or main crank is turning. Besides that, it's possible to invert the counter register by pulling a little tab on the side. Of course, now I became confused because of the fact that the machine was in the reverse mode and not rotating in the same direction. So what ended up happening was that it was counting positively, even though I believed it should be counting the other way. So let's see that again. With an addition, we end up in the red. And then with a clear, and pushing the tab in, they're both adding in the proper direction. And there we have it. The double iron brain made by Brunsviga Maschinenwerke in Braunschweig, Germany. So I hope that you've enjoyed this rather quite late video. I'm hoping to be able to put out some more stuff. Thankfully, this rare opportunity was afforded to me, and I graciously took it. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're all doing well, and let it be assured that I have certainly been reading your comments while I've been away, and a lot of them have been encouraging me to get back to publish this stuff. So you guys who believed in me and stayed with me, you know who you are. You are very appreciated, and I hope that you're doing tremendously well. Thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to comment and tell me how you've been. It's always nice to get an opportunity to catch up after such a long time. Do take care.